Right, hello everyone, and sorry to interrupt this the program that you're about to watch, or the video, but the time has come for me to sort out the subscriber giveaway that's been going on for the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, certainly since I've been playing chapter 2 of Arkham Horror. The requisite was to make a comment on the video, and however many comments you made, your name would be put into a spinny wheel and I'll be picking you out to win one of 2 prizes, which is the Arkham Horror standalone scenario Film Fatale, and also a copy of the chapter 2 core set. So all of the names from across all 3 videos are put into this, and we're now going to spin the wheel. Now, there is no easy way, or there's no direct way on YouTube, strange enough, but for me to directly contact people. You can't send direct messages or anything like that. So I would ask the 2 winners that win. There's my email address there, tindalosgaming@gmail.com. Once you spot that you've won, then please drop me your postal details that you want me to send the prize to, and I will get it out into the post to you as promised. So drop me a line with a post office box or whatever, private email. Obviously nothing done online, and we'll keep it all hush hush in regards to confidentiality. But I'll get the prizes out to you as soon as I get your address. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to click on. I'm looking at 2 screens here because I've got the wheel over here, which you can see up here. We are going to click in. Start off with, we're going to go for the winner of Film Fatale. So best of luck, everyone. Oh, there we go. Film Fatale has been won by Damien Metcalf, 1829. So Damien, give me a shout. Drop me an email at tindalosgaming@gmail.com, and we'll sort your prize out for you, buddy. Okay, next one. Now, Tom is one of my very loyal viewers, and has made the point that he was only after Film Fatale. He doesn't need chapter 2. So if Tom's name comes up, we will rerun it. But here we go. This is the big one. So best of luck. Chapter 2 core box is going to Simeon Logic. Well done, Simeon Logic. You have won a chapter 2 core set. So as said, drop me a message, an email to the email on the screen there, tindalosgaming@gmail.com, with the postal details, and I'll get it out to you. But thank you everybody for taking part. Thanks for all the comments. Hopefully this is the first of many subscriber giveaways, and I will thank you all again, and I'll call it there. So cheers. Bye-bye. And welcome to, or welcome back to, Tindalos Gaming, and welcome to my legacy playthrough of the Brethren of Ash campaign for Arkham Horror, the living card game. Brethren of Ash is a chapter 2 campaign, but I've decided to play with some legacy investigators. That's hence the reason why it's called Legacy. So obviously, if you haven't seen the previous 2 campaign scenarios, I'd highly recommend you going back and watch my professional and expert attempt at both those scenarios. That said, tongue firmly in cheek. But on that sort of note, let's get across to the table to see what's going on in regards to the decks. Standard hand wiggle to make sure the camera was working. All good. So obviously I've shown you the deck lists before. Very simple upgrades. I had 5 XP to spend from the previous scenario. And I would show you the cards on my card cam, but for some reason or other this morning it doesn't want to work. It was working perfectly fine yesterday when I was recording. Made no changes to it, but OBS is having a bit of a hissy fit about it this morning. Had about 3/4 of an hour at it trying to fix it. Doesn't want to work. So unfortunately, no card cam for this scenario, but that's a bit frustrating. But enough of my technical difficulties. Let's get back to what we're actually doing. So, as I said, 5 experience to spend. for each investigator. So for Dexter, what I've done is I've upgraded one of his brands. I spent 1 XP on it already. So when you're purchasing further XP upgrades, so like brand is 4, but I only have to pay 3 because I've already paid 1 for the previous version. But this brand, the 4 XP version, does allow me to do the sweet 3 damage because it's got 9 charges on it. And it says obviously it's an action to fight. For this attack you may use your will instead of your fight. You get +2. And if you succeed, you could spend 1, 2 or 3 charges instead of its standard attack. So you don't do the 1 damage as normal, you do 0. And then you do 1 for every charge that you spend. So I could kill 3 lots of 3 health enemies. That is big in this game. It saves an action effectively. It saves another test and it saves an action. So that one's gone in. Then I've taken out the 2 talismans of protection. Don't really, maybe I'm foreshadowing, but hopefully won't need those. And I've put in 2 copies of 1 cost blur, which has got 3 charges on it. And it says, but if as an action, if blur has charges remaining, evade. For this evasion attempt, you may use your will instead of your agility, and you get +1 skill value. If you succeed, spend 1 action, 1 charge, and you may take an additional action this turn. If you succeed by 0, take 1 damage. So that's quite good. So we're evading, and we can spend a charge to take an additional action. With Joe Diamond, fairly straightforward. I've upgraded or changed one of his insights for his hunch deck. I've taken out No Stone Unturned, and I've put in, just for a bit of fun actually, because I don't usually use these sorts of things, Stirring Up Trouble, Insight Cursed. As an additional cost to playing Stirring Up Trouble, add cursed tokens to the chaos bag equal to your shroud's your location's shroud value. Discover 2 clues at your location. It's a payoff. It's a risk, but hey, you know, what's the worst that could happen? I could draw two curse tokens. So that's going to be fun. That's going to go in his hunch deck. We'll chuck that in there now while I remember. That was 1 XP, and then I've spent 2 XP. I've taken out the 2. I've taken out the 2 vicious blows, and I've put in 2 copies of the 2 cost perception, which has got 3 will intellect icons on it, and we can draw a card if we're successful, 2 cards if we succeed by 2 or more. So hopefully that will come in handy. Come in handy. There we go. Let's chuck those in. Brand can go in there as well. We'll give all those a shuffle up at the required time. We have caffeine. It's nearly empty actually because I spent so long trying to get the blinking card cam sorted out. I've drunk most of my coffee. Okay, scenario 3, Queen of Ash. Intro 1. Dr. Armitage thanks the waitress at Velma's diner as she sets 2 pieces of warm apple pie between you. The head librarian pushes one towards you with a strained smile. Arkham is changing. The world is changing. For the worse, I fear. But at least we have pie. Together, you and Dr. Armitage piece together a disturbing picture of the situation at hand. The Brethren of Ash are not conspirators, Armitage says. They are thralls, all of them. Thralls of an ancient goddess, one they call Elikos. Dr. Armitage shows you a grotesque woodcut of a gnarled tree with burning branches before continuing. After attending one of the cult's secret gatherings, some prospective followers develop a strange bruise that marks them as one of Elikos' own. These followers are from all walks of life, rich and poor, weak and strong. Most importantly, these thralls have no idea that they are under her sway. Your mysterious pursuer is one such thrall. According to the prophecy, the servant of flame who attacked us at the university is the harbinger of the Queen's return. The servant gathers sacrifices to make her way for their Queen's glorious rebirth. A rebirth they predict will be happening this very evening. So based on your campaign difficulty, perform the following. So basically standard, we're adding 2 chaos tokens. We're adding the tentacle or the elder thing, and we're adding the stone. Those go in the deck, the back. Check your campaign log. If the investigators discover the cult's whereabouts, proceed to intro 2. We did discover the cult's whereabouts. It says, the thought of your friend being sacrificed chews you to your core. Rather than piece together circumstantial evidence, you suggest that you search the Servant of Flame's residence for some clue. Your search turns up several leads, an invitation to a secret meeting, a pair of scuffed muddy boots, a record of bootlegging operations in the waterfront district, a photo of 3 faces lit by candlelight in the dark. Everything points to the Arkham sewers. A bit foolish, wouldn't you think, for a cult that worships fire to conduct their business in the sewers, Armitage chuckles. But I believe you are correct. Together you resolve to scour the sewers for any trace of your friend. Proceed to setup. So we've got all of our encounter sets. We've done all of that. Put the underground cistern into play. Shuffle each location of the sewers encounter set so you do not know which is which, and put them into play unrevealed. Set the sluice controller side out of play, and we begin at the sewer culvert. We'll shuffle these up. I don't know what's what. Well, memory serves me correctly, I played this a few weeks ago. They're all pretty bad when you go into them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check your campaign log. If the investigators scoured Arkham for answers, no, they didn't. If they stirred up trouble, no, we didn't. We haven't killed Servant of the Flame. If there are 3 or 4 players in the game, place 1 doom on the agenda, no. Gather the fire encounter set and set each copy of fire aside out of play, along with both copies of the collector reward asset, the Elikos, Queen's Knight, and Herald of the Flames enemies. Have done all of that. And shuffle the remaining encounter cards to create the encounter deck. Yeah, Servant of the Flame also is set aside out of play. You are now ready to begin. Right, let's put that out of there. Queen of Ash. I'm about to go and take it to the card can, but I can't. So the cultist is -X, where X is the number of fire treacheries in play. The cultist is -2. If this is an attack or an evasion targeting a cultist enemy, reveal another token. The tablet is -2, -4 instead if you are at a ritual site location. Well, they don't look like they are, but that certainly is a ritual site. And the elder thing is -3. If you fail, draw the topmost copy of fire in the encounter discard pile. We've got Search the Sewers as our Act 1A. The Brethren of Ash could be anywhere. You must search the sewers for the cult's ritual site if you hope to save your friend. When an investigator enters underground cistern, advance. Come back to underground cistern in a second. And our agenda is a gathering. Chanting echoes through the fetid tunnels. The cult's rebirth is at hand. Each enemy at a location with a copy of fire attached cannot be damaged. Ouch. Need to remember that. The underground cistern. As an additional cost to enter the underground cistern, we must spend 6 clues as a group, 3 clues per investigator. We don't know what any of these are. It's time to shuffle up. Contractual obligation to do some cat weasel cuts. and also rule 1 of Tindalos Gaming playthroughs, no shenanigans. There is a rule 2. Rule 2 is I will make mistakes. It's almost baked in that I'll miss something, I'll do something incorrectly, I'll do something that's not quite within the rules. And my sincere and heartfelt apologies for those mistakes that I do make. They're not done intentionally, but as I've said on numerous occasions, I'm trying to do too many things at once, and I'm sort of 50-plus-year-old man. So that is Dexter's Drake or Dexter's deck all done. And then we've got Joe Diamond's deck. Catweasel cut. And then the final thing, which I'll probably forget about 16 times during the course of this game, is his hunch deck. I sort of got the hang of it at the end of the last playthrough. Hopefully I will this time round. Okay. Sewer culvert. Let's flip it over. 1 shroud, no clues. It's connected to each sewer location, and we've got an action here. We can resign. Always good. Always good to have a resign. Right, I've finished my coffee. Let's crack on with getting our opening hand. Dexter Drake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a blur. We've got our shriveling and azure flame. We've got showmanship, and we've got storm spirits. Ooh. I don't think I necessarily need 2 combat spells for the time being. Do I want to keep a blur? Just on the off chance. I think I will keep a blur. And I'll get rid of the Azure Flame and Storm of Spirits. I'll keep the Shriveling, that's our Uber version. We'll keep a Showmanship, we'll keep a Blur. We'll draw 2. We're going to draw Sign Magic, very nice. And we're going to draw an Uncage the Soul, brilliant. Brilliant. That Uncage the Soul is very useful. Not a bad opening hand. Not a bad opening hand. Joe Diamond, we're looking for anything to get us clues. 3, 4, 5. Fingerprint kit would be lovely. Magnifying glass. We've got an inquiring mind. We have a fingerprint kit. We've got a machete. We've got a mouse mask. And we've got a magnifying glass. And we've got an inquiring mind. Keep all 4 of those, and I won't keep the machete. We'll draw 1 more. We'll get our grizzly totem. Nice. Again, slightly regretting that I haven't put any emergency caches into these decks. But hey ho. Hey ho. Right. Do we play the standard setup turn? I think we have to. Showmanship doesn't feel right to play at the moment because we're not going to get the benefit of it. But I'm certainly, first action, going to play Uncage the Soul. Play a spell or ritual card from my hand, reducing its cost by 3. We will play Shriveling. I'll leave that there. There's a space ready for something else. Second action, I'm going to spend 3 down to 2. It's not an action because it's fast. I will play Sign Magic. We have an additional arcane slot. Do we want to move and open one of these up and see what it's all about? Because we could always move back. I've got Blur and I've got Showmanship that I don't need to play at the moment. Or do I play a Blur and get that down on the table as well? Yeah, I think second action, I'll bring a Blur in. And that costs me 2. Down to 0. Just need to put some charges on these bad boys. Blur comes in with 3 charges. And Shriveling comes in with 4 charges. 2, 3, 4. Third action, I'll gain a resource. Let's start saving up for some other stuff. That's Dexter done. Joe Diamond. First action is to play the fingerprint kit. Comes in with 3 supplies on it. That costs me 4, down to 1. As another thing, I'll pay 1 to bring out the magnifying glass. It's fast, doesn't cost me an action. Second action, I'll gain a resource up to 1. Third action, I'll play a mouse mask that comes in with 2 offerings. And that cost me 1. Okay, we're all done. Quite happy with that. Quite happy with that. We go to the enemy phase. Clearly no enemies in play in this. Oh, the glasses are a bit blurred. I need to make sure that's all in focus. There we go. Upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. Dexter gains a resource up to 2. He draws a card. He gets a crystal pendulum. Nice. Joe Diamond gets 1 resource up to 1 and he draws another fingerprint kit. All right. We go to the Mythos phase. We place 1 Doom of 6 onto the agenda. Dexter's going to draw a card. He's going to get a Zealot. Comes in aloof. 2 fight, 1 health, 2 to evade. After this enemy enters play, place 1 Doom on it. Something for Dexter to do. And Joe Diamond is going to get a Hellhound. Of course he does. 2 fight, 3 health, 4 to evade. Hunter. After Hellhound attacks you during the enemy phase, choose and discard 1 asset you control. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We'll go to the investigation phase. We will start off with Dexter. We don't necessarily need to worry about the Zealot just at this point. He's aloof, so he's not causing us any problems. Obviously, he's got a Doom on him. But I'm more worried about the Hellhound on Joe. And I don't really want to be doing damage to Joe. So for my first action, is going to be to engage the Hellhound. Second action is going to be to shrivel it. So I'm 7 versus 2. 7 versus 2. -2, -4 if you're a ritual site. And we take 1 horror from shriveling, unfortunately. So we take 1 horror down to 7. But that does 2 damage to the Hellhound. I've got to use shriveling again because I want to use my will. So second shriveling, same thing, 7 versus 2. Skull. No, it's -0. But we can take another horror from shriveling. God. I've already used that. So down to 5. But that is enough to kill the Hellhound. Two actions. Final action. I'll spend 2 to pay Crystal Pendulum. And I completely forgot about Joe's. I completely forgot about Joe's punch deck turn 1 again. He's got guidance. I can't use that now because we have to do that at the start. Then that's my fault. Dear oh dear. Foreshadowing. I told you. Completely forget about it. 50 years old. In one ear, out the other. So what's Joe Diamond doing? Joe Diamond is going to go off hunting for some clues, I think. So his first action, let's move across to here. See what we've got. We've got the toxic waste pit, 3 shroud, 2 clues. That was my first action. When you end your turn here at this location, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Well, I'm not planning on finishing my turn here, because I am planning on getting the clues. Second action, we'll use a fingerprint kit to do an investigate. So we're 4, 5, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. Not. I am going to try and make sure of it and play Inquiring Mind to make it 9 versus 3. Oh, hang on. No. I'll spend a mouse mask to make me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's right, isn't it? 4, 5 for this, 6 for that, 7, 8 for the mouse mask. 8 versus 3. Skull, no fire in play, so -0. Because we use fingerprint kit, we get the 2 clues. Third action is going to be to move back. Okay. That's it for the investigation phase. Because we didn't use that, that now gets shuffled back into the deck. And let's try and remember, start of the investigation phase, we reveal the hunch token. Please shout at the screen. Send me your thoughts. Enemy phase, the aloof enemy's not doing anything, he's just going to sit there happily chanting away. Go to the upkeep phase, we ready up. We get our actions back. Dexter goes to 1 resource. He draws a card. He gets Robes of Endless Night. Very nice. Joe Diamond goes to 2 resources. He draws a perception, our Uber perception. That's where Inquiring Mind comes in. Ooh, okay. All right. And I think that is it for upkeep. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 demon on the agenda. We're at 3 of 6 because this seller. Dexter's going to draw his encounter card. He gets Noxious Smoke. Test will or agility 3. Take 1 damage for each point you fail by. So I'm currently 6 versus 3. I will exhaust Pendulum. And it says name a number. If this test success by that number or fails by that number, draw 1 card. So I'm 6 versus 3. I'm going to say I win by 1. I'll win by 1. 6 versus 3. -1. 5 versus 3. We win by 2. So we don't get Crystal Pendulum, but we do pass. Joe Diamond, encounter card. He's going to get a Wild Compulsion. Test will 3. For each point you fail by, you must either discard a card at random from your hand or lose a resource. On will 2, I can't play Inquiring Mind because there's no clues at my location. I mean, technically there is, because I've got 2 clues in my hand, but we're not going to go there. So 2 versus 3, I think I'm going to have to take it. 2 versus 3. There is a +1 in there. There is a +1. -2. So I lose by 3. For each point you fail by, you must either discard a card at random from your hand or lose a resource. I'll lose 2 resources. And then I will lose a card, which is a total of 3. And we're going to lose... Oh, we're going to lose our perception. Ugh. Never mind. Never mind. Investigation phase. We turn over the hunch deck. We've got work in a hunch. Got work in a hunch. Very nice. I want to kill that zealot. but I don't really want to waste a shriveling on him. Do I waste a showmanship? Because I could just fight him, punch him. I'm fight 3, he's fight 2. If I chuck a showmanship in, I'm a 5 versus 2. I think I'm going to do that. First action is to engage the zealot. Second action is to punch him in the face. I'll use my showmanship. So I'm 3, 4 for the fight, and then a wild on showmanship. So 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. -1. We punch him in the face. I'm not entirely sure that was the best use of showmanship, but it gets rid of the doom and that zealot. Third action, I'm going to gain a resource up to 2. That's Dexter done. What's Joe doing? What's Joe doing? First action, going to move. Let's go this side. We're at the flooded crypt, the Shroud of 4. Ouch. 2 clues on it. When you end your turn at this location, take 1 horror. We've revealed a location, so Mouse Mask gets another pip on it. We really want the 2 clues. It feels like we're going to be wasting a work in a hunch though. I could do that to take the 1 and then just do a normal investigate without fingerprint kit. 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. Feels okay. It feels okay. Okay, so we're then going to spend 0 because we get -2 for Joe Diamond's special to play working a hunch, which is fast. We're going to discover a clue at our location. So that goes into the discard pile. We get that one straight away. Oh, we haven't put our clues on, Joe. 1, 2, 3. And for his second action, he's just going to do a normal investigate with 4, 5 for the magnifying glass. We'll remove 1 from mouse mask to make him 7. 7 versus 4. Seven versus 4. -2. We get it. Another clue. Third action, going to move back to the sewer culvert. That's it for the investigation phase. That does not get shuffled because we've taken a card off, so we just continue to draw cards off it. Enemy phase, no enemies in play. Upkeep phase, we put 3 of 6 onto the agenda. Dexter Drake is going to draw his encounter card, and he's going to get a zealot. Comes in aloof, comes in with 1 doom on it. And Joe Diamond is going to get a Langor. Put Langor into play in your threat area, limit 1 per investigator. After your turn begins, discard the top card of your deck. If it's a weakness, draw it. Otherwise, you cannot play or commit cards of that type, asset, event, or skill this round. 2 actions to discard it. Well, I think I know what Joe's going to be doing next turn. He doesn't like that. That was the Mythos phase. We go to the investigation phase. We turn the hunch deck over and we're going to get stirring up trouble. Ooh. Oh, okay. Tempting. We should have readied up. I didn't do. I missed a bit. God, drawing, get a resource for 3, draw a card, brand of Cthulhu. Don't know what happened there. Gain a resource, draw a card, for take the initiative. Completely bypassed the upkeep phase. God knows what I was doing there. That stirring up trouble is causing me problems now. Because I was thinking of, no, I'm gonna, no, I'm not tempted. I'm not tempted. Let's start off with Joe. Let's start off with Joe. I've got to discard the top card of my deck. So it is a Pathfinder. Oh, that's really annoying. That is really annoying. Can't play assets. I can't play assets. Oh, losing a Pathfinder. 2 actions to discard that. He's got 1 action left. I can't play assets. He will gain a resource for his 3rd action. So tempted by stirring up trouble. I don't think Dexter's got too much choice here. So 1st action is going to be to engage the Zealot. 2nd action is going to be to shrivel the Zealot. I'm 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 2. Of course I draw that, -3. I don't fail. Well, I take another horror from shriveling. Bloody hell. I'm on 4. Gonna kill himself. He's gonna kill himself for shriveling. Every single token I've pulled for shriveling has been a blinking symbol. Kills the Zealot though. That was my 2nd action. Third action, I'm going to pay 3 to bring out a Robes of Endless Night. Gives them a little bit of soak. And also reduces the costs of spells. That's it for Dexter. That's the end of the investigation phase. This wasn't used, so it gets put back into the deck and we shuffle it. We go to the enemy phase. There are no enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase, which I won't miss this time. Turn over and ready up. We get our resources back. Dexter gets a resource up to 1. He draws a card, which is another copy of Blur. Joe Diamond goes up to 3 resources. He draws a card and he gets a Eureka. We go to the Mythos phase. Put a Doom on the agenda. We're at 4 of 6. Dexter is going to get Cantor of Flame. 2 fight, 2 health, 2 to evade, and he's got Retaliate. Joe Diamond is going to get Cosmic Evils. He'll put a Doom on the agenda. So it's going to flip. So 1 turn left. Dexter is going to shrivel the Cantor of Flame. for his first action. Five, 6, 7, 8 versus 2. 8 versus 2. You are joking me. You are joking me. Every single shriveling. 4 down to 3 horror. Does 2 damage to it though. Can't believe that. I can't believe it. That was his first action. Second action. I'll exhaust the Robes of Endless Night to pay 1 for a Brand of Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Comes in with 9 charges. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Might run out of charges here. 4, 5. 7, 8, 9. Third action, draw a card. He gets an Uncaged the Soul, helpful for later. And we can have 3 arcanes because we've got our sign magic out. He's going a bit mad. Joe Diamonds. That's it for Dexter. We'll continue the theme and we'll move to this sewer tunnel. And what we're going to get, oh, 1 shroud. Oh, we should have flipped that over. I've got a plan. Comes in with 2 clues on it. After you enter this location, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and draw it. Okay, so Torment, no. Dark Magician. Dark Magician. Hello. That's very handy. That is very handy. So that's my first action, was to move. Second action, I'll pay 1 to fight with I've Got a Plan. It uses our intellect, and we deal plus damage for this attack for each clue on you to a maximum of 3. We've got 4 clues on us, so we need to hit this thing hard. So I'm currently 4, 5. We've revealed a location, so we put that onto Mouse Mask. I'm currently 5, 4, 5. I will play Take the Initiative for 2 pips because I've completed 1 action, and I will take 1 off of Mouse Mask. Give us +2. So let's work this out. We are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 versus 4. 9 versus 4. minus X, which is 0. We do 4 damage to it because we've got 4 on there. Plus 3 damage. So Dark Magician is in our victory pile. So that's my second action. Third action. Going to use a fingerprint kit to investigate there. It's a Shroud of 1. So I'm 4, 5, 6. 6 versus 1. I will put a Eureka in to make it 7 versus 1. Seven versus 1. Minus 4. We still pass. We get the 2 tokens. We're at 6. Eureka. If this test is successful, the performing searches the top 3 cards of a deck for a card. So 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. We've got a Mark of Elakos, an Inquiring Mind, or a Machete. I'll take the Inquiring Mind. These 2 get shuffled back in. We've now got the 6 required clues. But we're about to pop the agenda. Taking the initiative's gone. Oh, well, that was the investigation phase. We go to the enemy phase. No enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We're ready up. We ready Crystal Pendulum and Robes of Endless Night. We get our actions back. Dexter goes to 1 resource and he draws a card and he's going to get a Shroud of Shadows. Joe Diamond's going to go to 3 resources. He's going to draw a card and he's going to get Field Work. That's cool. That's very cool. We go to the Mythos phase. What I should have done is just put some connectors out. So the sewer tunnels is connected to the underground system. As is, or the flooded crypt, should I say, as is the toxic waste pit. So we can get to the underground system through those 2. Okay, Mythos phase. We pop at 6. We flip it over. Flame in the dark. From somewhere deep within the bowels of the city, a searing flame grows in intensity. Those who bear the mark of the Queen arise to herald her return. If the Servant of Flame enemy is set aside, spawn it at the underground cistern. Delightful. Here comes the Servant of Flame. 4 fight, 10 health, 4 to evade, Hunter retaliate. Forced, when it's defeated, we read a codex entry. It's got a victory 2 on it. He comes in at the underground cistern. Oh, the sewer tunnels is also connected. Sorry, the infested pipes. Let's put him there. And we'll get a connection because they're all connected. So each investigator must test will 4. Each investigator who fails takes 1 direct horror. Okay. So we're currently 6 against 4 with Dexter. Oh, I really want to pass this, but that means chucking in an Uncage the Soul. Gonna risk it. 6 against 4. -2. -4 if you're at a ritual site. I'm not. We pass. And then I'm 2 against 4 with Joe. 2 against 4 with Joe. No clues on our location, so we can't play an inquiring mind. I think Joe's going to take a horror here. -2. He does take a direct horror. Down to 5. Okay, flip over. Agenda 2A, a ritual. The air is choked with noxious smoke as the sounds of chanting grow louder. Again, each enemy at a location with a copy of fire attached cannot be damaged. We go to drawing cards. Dexter is going to get the Hellhound. Joe Diamond is going to get Dissonance. Revelation, test will 3. If you fail, lose 1 action and choose a card type, asset, event or skill. Discard all non-weakness cards of your chosen type from that hand. Oh God. Asset, 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 skill, skill. Okay, wheel 3. A wheel 3 test. I'm wheel 2. Still no clues at my location. So we're looking for the +1 or we're looking for the Elder Sign. Come on, Joe. You're owed a good pull. 0. We fail. We fail. I'm going to have to lose skills, which is my 2 inquiring minds. I don't want to lose field work and I don't want to lose fingerprint kit. So unfortunately, my 2 inquiring minds go to my discard pile. I can't choose the other type, event, because I wouldn't actually be. No, that would be, you have to, in my head, you have to change the game state. And if I choose event, I won't actually be discarding any events. That doesn't feel quite fair. So I'm going to have to choose skill. If you can choose event, let me know. But I don't think I can. If I'd have had 1 event in there, that would have been nice. Okay, we go on to the investigation phase. We turn over the hunch deck, which is guidance. Choose another investigator at my location. Well, we're not currently at a location. Oh, the Hellhound. I was thinking about Dexter going up to engage the Servant of the Flame. He's got his brand of Cthulhu. But I'm going to have to deal with the Hellhound first of all. So we are going to fight, and this is the reason why I put this card in here. We are going to fight with the brand for his first action. We're using our will instead of our fight, so it's 6 against 2. I think we go with 6 against 2. Six against 2. -2. We are successful. I'll remove 3 charges from the brand. 1, 2, 3. To do 3 damage to it. I think we go digging for cards. Second action, we're going to draw a card. Storm of Spirits. Third action, we're going to draw a card. Azure Flame. Okay. Right, Joe Diamond. That's Dexter done. Joe Diamond. I'm thinking here. We need to stay away from. Joe needs to certainly stay away from the Servant of the Flame. We're going to let that come towards Dexter. I think Dexter's going to continue to hang out the sewer culvert. Losing Pathfinder was a bit of a pain. I've got field work and I've got Grizzly Totem and I've got another fingerprint kit. I think we're just going to prep a little bit further with Jim. First action is to pay 3 for a Grizzly Totem. Second action, going to move back to the sewer culvert to be with Dexter. The third action, I'm going to gain a resource up to 1. That's it. We didn't, at the end of that, we didn't use guidance, so that gets put back into the deck and we shuffle up. Go to the enemy phase. Servant of the Flame is going to hunt. He's going to come down this side. Down to here. No other enemies in play. Go to the upkeep phase. We'll try and do this phase this turn. We're ready up. We get our actions back. Dexter draws a card. He gains a resource up to 2. He draws a card. He gets an arcane initiate. That is a little bit of soak for us. That is a little bit of horror soak for us. 6 cards in hand. Joe Diamond's going to go up to 2 resources. He's going to draw a card. He gets paranoia. We lose our 2 resources. That's just scuppered us a little bit. That's just scuppered us a little bit, but at least it's out, I suppose. Okay, we go to the Mythos phase and put 1 of 10 onto the agenda. Let's just move that up a little bit so we can fit our 10 resort, our 10 doom in there. Gosh. Dexter's going to draw a card. He's going to get extraplanar visions. Test will or intellect X, where X is the number of cards in our hand. Oh God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we are currently 6 versus 6. I'll play a Storm of Shadows and a Arcane Initiative on Will. Joe's got nothing that can help. So we now go down to, we're 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 versus 4. We've got the Elder Sign. That's handy. We pass, obviously, +2. You may return an asset from your play area to your hands. I will return Shriveling. And I'll draw a card. We draw another Arcane Initiate. Joe Diamond's going to get Blasphemous Invocation. Test will 3. At each point you fail by, place 1 doom on a cultist enemy with no doom on it. If you fail and no doom was placed, search the encounter, discard. If you fail and no doom, we'll have to do test 2 versus 3 at the minute. Two versus 3. We fail by 1. We fail by 1. So I'm going to put a doom onto the Servant of Flame. That's it for the Mythos phase. We go to the investigation phase. We turn over the Hunch deck, which is, ooh, I've got a plan. Could we kill the Servant of Flame this turn? Could we kill the Servant of the Flame this turn? Joe Diamond could potentially do 4 damage to it, leaving 6. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. It's got retaliate. If I go in with move Dexter, engages the servant of the flame, then I've got 2 hits at it with the brand. I would be 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 4. 9 versus 4 with that. Yeah, let's do it. Dexter's going to move in to the sewer tunnels for his first action, which engages the servant of the flame. Then he's going to fight using his brand of Cthulhu. So we are 5, 6, 7, 8. We will chuck in an arcane initiate to make it 9 versus 4. 9 versus 4. -2. We are successful. We'll remove 3 charges from the brand to do 3 damage to it. His third action is to fight with the brand again. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Sod it. I'm going to chuck a uncage the soul in to make it 10 versus 4. 10 versus 4. -3. We pass. We do, and then I'll take 3 tokens off the brand. To do another 3 damage to it. That's it for Dexter. First action from Joe, going to be to move up to the sewer tunnels. Second action, just in case, is going to be to engage the servant of flame. Ah, no. I haven't got the resource to pay. So I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage him. I'm going to gain a resource, my second action. Then I'm going to pay 1 because it's -2, or I've got a plan. So we're 4. Going to use mouse mask give me +2. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. I hate to do this, but I'm going to play the fingerprint kit to make it 8 versus 4. And I'll tap the Grizzly Totem to give me another instance of that to make it 9 versus 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 versus 4. -3. We pass. We do +3 damage. That's 4 damage from I've Got a Plan. Killing the Servant of Flame. Goes into the victory part. That's it for Joe. When we end our turn here, we take a horror. So Joe's going to be going down to 4. Dexter's going down to 2. Oh, God. 1, 2. I've got 6 clues on me as well. Ouch. Okay. I've expended a lot of resources there. Have I peaked too early? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. That's it for the investigation phase. We don't need to shuffle this up because we've used our card. We're going to go to the enemy phase. There are no enemies in play. We're going to go to the upkeep phase. We're going to ready up Joe and Dexter. Dexter's going to go to 3 resources. He's going to draw a card. He's going to get another crystal pendulum. Joe's going to go up to 1 resource and he's going to draw a card and he's going to get no stone unturned. Why is that in there? My mistake, that should not have been in there. It should have been in the hunch deck. So I'll draw a card. He gets an art student. We go to the mythos phase. 2 of 10. Dexter is going to draw a card and he's going to get putrid vapors. Test agility 3. If you fail, take 1 horror and discard 1 non-story asset you control. I don't want to take the horror. I'm 2. Three, 4. 4 versus 3. Oh, I should have readied up Grizzly Totem. 4 versus 3. Should have got their actions back. I'm going to help him out with a field work and tap Grizzly Totem. So there's 2 there. 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. -2. We're not at a ritual site. We pass. Dexter doesn't take the horror, but we do lose a field work. Oh, that's not good. That's not good, but we had to do it. Can't have Dexter on 1 horror. That's Dexter's card. And Joe's card, Cosmic Evils. We will put a Doom on the agenda. We go to the investigation phase. We flip over the hunch deck. Stirring up trouble. Three resources, you say? I'm not putting shriveling back into play at the minute. So I'm going to go with Dexter first of all. First action, spend 3 to put an Azure Flame into play with 4 charges. Actually, no. Hang on. No, let's backtrack. Let's backtrack. I'm going to start off with Joe. Joe is going to move in to the underground cistern, spending his 6 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll reveal the underground cistern. 4 shroud, 4 clues on it. Got quite a few things to do here in a sec. First things first, we've revealed a new location, so we get a mouse mask replenished. It's a shroud of 4, 2 clues per investigator. Forced. If there are no clues on underground cistern, place clues from the token pool on it to its clue value. Forced. When the investigation phase ends, discard each ready non-elite cultist enemy at this location. Place 1 doom on the agenda for each enemy discarded this way. So stuff's going to happen. And now we have entered the sewer or the underground cistern, so we'll advance. The chanting leads you through a labyrinth of tunnels to a dry cistern. Several dozen robed figures kneel before a burning birch tree, chanting. Your friend is among them. You must stop them before they sacrifice themselves for Elikos. Spawn the set-aside Elikos enemy at underground cistern. Faint embers side up. The investigators at underground cistern draws 1 of the set-aside fire treacheries. Shuffle each other copy of fire into the encounter deck, along with the set-aside Queen's Knight and Herald of Flame enemies. Put the set-aside Sluice Control location into play. Bear with me. Okay, we've done some setting up. So the underground cistern's on fire. The monsters and fire have gone into the encounter deck. Sluice Control is connected to the underground cistern, but not anything else. As an additional cost to enter Sluice Control, investigators must spend 2 clues as a group. That's that. Elikos is 5 fight, 5 health, 5 to evade. Massive retaliate, hitting for 3 and 3. So it gets plus 10 health, so it's 15, and cannot make attacks of opportunity. So we can do stuff while we're in there and we won't get hit back. As a reaction, we can spend 2 clues, place 1 clue on Elikos. If Elikos has 5 clues on her, read resolution 2. So I think the clue route is going to probably be the best route, bearing in mind I've spurged all of my stuff onto the Servant of the Flame. There we go to 2A. You must stop the rite at any cost. You can scour the system for means to stop the cult, or you could try to chop their profane idol to tinder. Spend 2 clues as a group. Discard a copy of fire at your location. Forced. When the round ends, each cultist enemy moves once towards the underground system. Objective. If Elikos is defeated, advance. So that was my first action, was to move in there. All right, lots going on. Lots going on. They're a bit shiny. Let's move those across a little bit there as our victory pile. Just for some reason it gets more shiny over this side. I'm losing my focus. Right, so second action from Shroud of 4. Second action, we're going to attempt to investigate the underground system, knowing that Elikos doesn't do attacks of opportunity. We will spend the last of our fingerprint kits. So 4, 5, 6 with magnifying glass, 7, 8 with the mouse mask being used. 8 versus 4. We are at a ritual site. Plus 1. We get 2 clues. One, 2. Do you know what? No, I need to get out of Dodge. I was tempted to use Stirring Up Trouble. If it was fast, I could use it, but it would cost me an action, so I'm not going to. I'm going to, for my third action, I'm going to spend 2 clues to enter the sluice control. Action, stop them at all costs. You try to open up the sluice valve, test agility or fight 5. If you succeed, each enemy is defeated, and each investigator that has not resigned is killed. That's got 4 clues on it. Oh God, right, okay. That's interesting. So we can go out in a blaze of glory. If I could pay for the money at this point, Blaze of Glory by Bon Jovi would be coming on, but I can't afford that. That's it for Joe. That was his third action. Would have been nice to have used stirring up trouble at that point to put a clue onto Ellicos. What is Dexter doing? Well, he can't stay at the sewer tunnels. And we don't take an attack of opportunity from Ellicos because it doesn't do them. So we just move out. I always get a bit confused with that. I mean, it's very clear, it cannot make attacks of opportunity. So sort of just standing there. So Dexter could move, just to be with Joe. And then we could just keep popping in and out. Two moves. I did have 3 resources because I spent those for, I'm just wondering why. Right, so first action from Dexter is now going to play the Azure Flame to come in with 4 charges on it. And while I'm here, Joe Diamond did reveal a new location, so we'll put one onto Mouse Mask. And then Dexter will move, be in the sluice control. He's fight 3, so there's a possibility that he could do it. He could do it, but let's have a go. Let's try the route. Let's try the clue route first of all. So that's the end of the phase. So this gets shuffled back in. Would be really nice to have my fingerprint kits. Oh, I should have exhausted Robes of the Night to reduce that by 1. So I only paid 2 for Azure Flame. We go to the enemy phase. No enemies in play other than Ellicos, who's just chilling out. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We ready up. We get our actions back. Dexter gains the resource up to 2. He draws a card, which is the other Uber Shriveling. I can't resist. I can't risk playing that. Joe Diamond goes up to 2 resources. He draws a card. What's he getting? He's getting a Eureka. That could help us. We go to the Mythos phase. 4 of 10. Dexter's going to draw a card. Dexter draws a Blasphemous Invocation. So it's 3. A test of 3. I'm 6. I will play a Shriveling to make it 7. 7 versus 3. -3. Good job I did. I know it doesn't make any difference. We pass. We've still got a Shriveling in hand if we need it. Joe Diamond's going to draw a card. He's going to draw Noxious Smoke. Will or agility 3. Oh, I should have read up Grizzly Totem. I think I can take this. So I'm going to keep everything and I'll test against agility. 3 versus 2. -2. So we take 3. It's not an attack or an evasion, so we take 3 damage, unfortunately. Down to 4. 1. 2. 3. 4 and 4. We go to the investigation phase. We flip over the hunch deck, which is scene of the crime. Start off with Dexter. Dexter's just chilling at the minute. First action, draw a card. We draw another brand. Should have readied up and Robes of Endless Night. Well, that brand's useless now, so we'll pay. We'll use our second action. We'll exhaust Robes of Endless Night to pay 1 to replace that brand. We have this brand. No, I can't do Dexter's special ability because it's the same thing. Comes in with 6 charges on it. I think the idea is to pop in and out when we're ready. To pop in and out is where my head's going. Third action from Dexter is going to draw a card. He gets a cat mask. Very good. Okay, but he can't do anything else this turn. Joe Diamond's going to try and get these clues as best he can. First action, scene of the crime for 0. We'll grab a clue. Would have been nice to have had an enemy there this time around. 1. Second action, he'll pay 2 to play an art student. Gives me a bit of soak. And also when she comes in, I grab a clue. Third action, we're going to investigate just normally. 4, 5, and we'll remove the mouse mask to make it 7. We'll play Eureka to make it 8. 8 versus 4. +1. We get a clue. So we're at 3 clues. Why am I at 5? What's going on here? 3 clues. Eureka kicks in. We'll have a look at the top 3 cards. We've got a Pathfinder. That's good. A Machete. And a Fieldwork. Oh, I'm going to keep... Fieldwork's the better play. Fieldwork's the better play. Eureka goes to my discard pile. These 2 go back. Okay. That's it for Joe. We don't shuffle because we're not putting anything back on there. Enemy phase. No enemies currently in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. Get our actions back. Dexter gets a resource up to 2 and he draws a card and he gets a Shroud of Shadows. Joe goes to 1 resource, draws a card and he gets a deduction. Okay. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 doom on the agenda, so we're halfway through. 5 of 10. Dexter's going to draw a card. He gets a fire. Attach fire to the nearest location. They're all 1 away. I'm not putting it on sluice control. Or is it the nearest location? Oh, let me just check this. Well, just done a little bit of Googling on it, and what it's saying is that there's a copy of fire here, and you have to attach a copy of fire to the nearest location without fire attached. So I've got a choice. I've got a choice effectively. I can put it here, here, or here because they're all 1 away. So if I'm playing that wrong, my apologies, and it's a mistake, but I'm going to put it down here because it's still, I've fulfilled the card's requirement. If I'm being too beady about it, then, you know, it is what it is. Dexter's card, sorry, Joe Diamond's card is going to be Unnatural Decay. Test will 4. If you fail, you must either place 1 doom on an asset you control or take 2 damage. Okay, no, we'll do that. -1. we fail. And I'll place a doom onto the art student. Right, I'm still prepping a thing. I'm running out of turns now. Dexter's just hanging there, ready to ping off any enemies that appear with us. So he doesn't feel like he's doing lots. So it's all on Joe, really. Having fingerprint kit would be awesome. We turn over. No stone unturned. Again, I think I'm just prepping. First action, gain a resource. Second action, pay 2 to play field work. Third action, I'm going to do no stone unturned. Choose an investigator at your location. I'll choose Dexter. Searches the top 6 cards of his or her deck for a card, draws it and shuffles his or her deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got a Henry Armitage, Sign Magic, 2 weaknesses, a Sword Cane, and a Cat Mask. I'm definitely going to take a Henry Armitage. These get shuffled back in. So no stone unturned goes. And that's it for Joe. Dexter's turn. First action is to gain a resource. Up to 3. Second action is to pay 3 for Dr. Henry Armitage. Gives us that well-needed horror soak. Third action, gain a resource. That's it. Go to the enemy phase. No enemies in play. Upkeep phase. We ready up. Robes of Vendor's Night readies. Get our actions back. Dexter gains a resource up to 2. He draws a card, which is another Azure Flame. Joe gains a resource up to 1. Gains a card, which is a Mouse Mask. Okay. We go to the Mythos phase. We're at 6 of 10. Dexter's going to draw a card. He draws a fire. We'll put it down here. Joe's going to draw a card. He draws an Ashen Rebirth. Okay, we can take that. Test Will 4 against Will 2. Direct damage or horror. Oh, okay, hang on a sec. I didn't think it was, I forgot it was direct. So let's work this out. So Dexter is going to chuck in a crystal pendulum for +1. So we're now at 3. I will chuck in a mouse mask. And I will tap the grizzly totem to give me a will. So I'm 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it. Right, so 1 there. It takes me to 3, 4, 5. I think that's all I can do. So 5 versus 4 is not great. Five versus 4. Come on, Chaos Bag. -3. I fail. If you fail, draw the topmost copy of Fire from the encounter discard pile. There is none in the encounter discard pile, but we still fail, which means we take 2 direct damage or 2 direct horror. I'll take the 2 direct horror down to 2. One. Two. Right, now it's time to do some stuff. First action from Joe. Oh no, we're going to flip over the guidance. That's no good to man nor beast, I don't think. Or should Dexter be just trying to pile in and do the 15 damage? No, I'm going to save Dexter's stuff for enemies. I'm not going to try and kill Elikos via health. I'm going to try and do it via the clues. So, first action from Joe is going to be to move in to the underground system. I will exhaust field work to give me +2 to the next skill value test I do. And I'm going to try and investigate at 4 with 4, 5, 6, 7. I will play a deduction to make it 8, 9. 9 versus 4. Nine versus 4. Is there anything else I can do? I don't think there is. 9 versus 4. -1. 8 versus 4. We're successful by 2. So deduction allows us to draw 2 more clues. 1, 2. That was my second action. As a reaction, I'm going to spend 4 clues. 2, 3, 4. Putting 2 clues onto Elikos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaves me with 1. There are no clues on the underground cisterns, so we put 4 on them. With my third action, I'm going to peg it back into this sluice control. So, first action from Dexter. I'm conscious now the deck is quite thin and I've not seen any weaknesses, so I'm not going to draw. I'm only going to draw cards now when I really need to. So, first action, I'm going to pay 1 down to 1 resource to play a cat mask. That comes in with 2 charges on it. Second 2 actions, I'm going to gain 2 resources up to 3. What's happened to my light? Hang on a sec, my light's just gone funny. Right, okay, that's it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase. Well, this goes first of all at the end of the phase. It goes back in. Something good would be nice. Enemy phase, no enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase, we ready up. We get our actions back. Grizzly totem comes back online. Dexter gains a resource up to 4. He draws a card. Familiar Spirit. We're not replacing Armitage with that, but that's a nice little will icon. Joe goes up to 2. He draws a card. He gets Mark of Elikos. When your turn ends, take 1 damage. Assign that asset to a asset you control if able. Okay, that's handy. We need to get rid of it, but we don't need to necessarily get rid of it straight away. We go to the Mythos phase. We're at 7 of 10. We draw a card. Dexter's going to get Wild Compulsion. Test Will 3. For each point you fail by, discard 1 card at random from your hand or lose a resource. So we are 5, 6, 7 versus 3. I will chuck them a Familiar Spirit in to make it 8 versus 3. Eight versus 3. And that's 1, 2, 3 fires. So that's 3. 8 versus 3. We pass. We pass. Dexter's card is a Herald of Flame. Wow, comes in engaged with him. 5 health. Okay. We go to the investigation phase. We turn over the hunch deck. Oh, it's his weakness. Place one of your clues on the location with the highest shroud. They're all 4. So we'll put it on to sluice control. And then that's removed from the game. Forced. If unresolved case would be shuffled into your hunch deck, add it to your threat area instead for the remainder of your game. I'll do the first bit first. Place one of your clues on the location with the highest shroud. Removed unsolved case. No, we can do that. So that's gone. Just thinking, who do I start off with? Well, clearly we're going to start off with Dexter. First action is going to be to engage the Herald of the Flame. I can only do 4 damage to it in 1 turn. He hits for 2 sanity. Oh, okay. Because what I was thinking is hit him once and then blur him to a disengage. But what I could do is hit him twice, take the sanity hit on Dr. Armitage because he's 3 and 3, and then I'm still, yeah, no, let's do it that way. So second action, I'm going to fight him with the brand. Going to fight him with the brand. So I'm going to be going 5, 6, 7, 8 against 4. 8 against 4. We'll remove a cat mask to make it 10 against 4. 10 against 4. Plus 1. We'll remove 2 charges from the brand to do 2 damage to the Herald of Flame. Third action, same thing. Same thing. We'll remove a cat mask. So we're going again 10 versus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 against 4. Minus 1. Another 2 damage. So he's up to 4 damage. And that's it for Dexter. Joe Diamond. We should have readied field work. We're going to move Joe into the underground system. We'll exhaust field work. Deduction has gone. Deduction has gone. Put that there so I remember it. And then we're going to investigate at the underground cistern. I did flip over my hunch deck, and it was just trying to remember I flipped over the hunch deck. It was the unsolved case. So we are 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 against 4. And I think that's as best as I can get. Can't commit anything. So it's 7 against 4. 0. We get it. We get the clue. We get a clue. Unfortunately, that's enough. That's not enough. So first action was to move in. Second action was to investigate. Third action is to get the hell out of Dodge. It's going to be tight. That's it for Joe. We don't need to shuffle that up. We go to the enemy phase. Herald of Flame is going to hit us for 2 damage, which is going to go on to 2 sanity damage, I think. 2 sanity damage onto good old Prof. He does heal a damage though. After this enemy attacks, heal 1 damage from each enemy at its location, which includes it, I take it. So it's got 3. Upkeep phase. We're going to ready up. Get our actions back. We're going to ready field work. Oh, forgot about, I put that there to remember. When the turn ends, take 1 damage, assign that to an asset you control. Asset will assign that to Art Student, which will kill it, taking the Doom off. Dexter's going to go up to 5 resources. He's going to draw a card. He's going to draw Storm of Spirits. Joe's going to go up to 3 resources. He's going to draw Machete. Not helpful. Not helpful, Joe. We want clue stuff. We need clue stuff. We go to the Mythos phase. We go to 8 of 10. 8 of 10. We draw a card. Dexter is going to draw Dissonance. Test Will 3. If you fail, lose 1 action and choose a card type. Discard all non-weakness card types of that chosen for your hand. Don't want to fail that. I do not want to fail that. So it's 3. I'm 5, 6, 7. Seven against 3. Actually, I think I can handle that without. So we're just going to go 7 against 3. 7 against 3. -1. We pass. Joe Diamond is going to get fire. This is the last location we can put it on before we have to put it onto the sluice control. Investigation phase. We get a card from our hunch deck. Play only if you've got at least one clue. Choose an investigator at your location. They either heal 2 horror or discards a terror card. Oh, okay. I really need stuff to get me clues. I need stuff to get me clues. So Joe Diamond's going to go first. First action is going to be to move in. We'll exhaust field work. And we'll do a test. 5, 6, 7, 8 against 4. 8 against 4. -1. We get the clue. Then as a reaction, we'll spend those 2 clues, 1, 2, to put a clue onto Elikos. So that's my second action. My third action is going to be to move back to the sluice control. I take a damage. I can't assign it to an asset, so I'm down to 3. Dexter's going to go. He is going to He's going to brand the Cthulhu. He's going to brand the Herald of Flame. So on 5, 6, 7, 8 against 4. I will play a Storm of Shadows to make it 9 versus 4. 9 versus 4. -1. We do remove 2 of the brands to do 2 damage to it, which kills it. So that's my first action. Second 2 actions, going to gain 2 resources up to 7. I'm not drawing cards. I'm worried about drawing cards now. Don't want to do anything that gets me done. We go to the enemy phase. Only Elikos is now in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We get our actions back. Dexter's going to draw a card. He's going to get a sword cane, which he can play. Joe Diamond is going to get up to 4 resources, and he's going to draw Pathfinder. That helps. That does help. Fieldwork readies. We go to the Mythos phase. 9 of 10. Is there a third agenda? Oh, I think there is. There is. There is. I can't get 4 clues this turn, I don't think. That would go. That would go. We draw a card for Dexter. Dexter gets extra planar visions. Test X, where X is the number of will or intellect. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you fail, take 1 damage and discard 1 card at hand, randomly hand. Fine, I'm happy with that. 4 against 5, 6, 7. 7. -2. We pass. We're not at a ritual site. Joe Diamond is going to draw a card. He's going to draw Ashen Rebirth. Oh, God. Did not want that. Will 4. 2. Oh. I'm 2 against 4. I can't use Grizzly Totem because I've got nothing that Joe can put in to help. I could make it with Shriveling. I could make it a 3 against 4 to help him out. Oh, let's do it. 3 against 4. We're looking for the Elder Sign or the +1. Come on. -2. We fail. We take 2 direct damage or 2 direct horror. We'll take 2 direct damage down to 1. God. 1. 2. This is going to be a problem now. There's going to be a problem because we're going to have to do marker. We're going to have to spend 2. It's going to flip. Oh, well, we'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. Here's what it is. Oops, investigation phase. We flip over. We get scene of crime. Oh, okay. Right. Joe is the problem here. Joe is the problem. I can't take, so first two actions are going to be to get rid of the mark of Elakos. Otherwise we'd be dead. The third action is to pay 3 down to 1, play Pathfinder. Now, we've got two choices. We continue on the route we're going and play this turn out. This will flip and then we'll go to the next stage. Or Dexter could have a go, or no. Or we could have Joe Diamond have a go at closing the sluice control. We will die, but we'll kill everything. And that feels quite fitting. That feels quite fitting. So let me work this through. So what I'm thinking is, oh no, Joe's already used all of his actions, so it would be Dexter. Dexter's fight 3. Dexter's fight 3. I could make him 4, 5. 4, 5 with those two. Joe could chuck in a machete to make him 6, and he could do his grizzly totem to make him 7. It'd be 7 versus 5. It would be 7 versus 5. Or we draw a couple of cards to see if we get any more fighting stuff. Because he only needs one attempt at it. He's got 3 actions. Let's do that. First action, draw a card. We've got a deny existence, which is a wild. So now we're 8 versus 5. I'm pushing my luck. I think I'm going to leave it there. So second action is to have a go at the sluice control. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Joe will help him out with a machete to make it 7, and he will flip exhaust the grizzly totem. After you commit a card to a skill test, exhaust grizzly totem gains another one of its skill icons. So that's that. So let's count it up again. Sorry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 5. -1. We shut it. We do shut it. If you succeed, each enemy is defeated and each investigator that has not resigned is killed. Read Resolution 3. Ugh. Resolution 3. I forgot to read the servant. I should have read. Oh, what would that have done? We would have got basically a spell card because David Renfield was the Harbinger. Anyway, Resolution 3. The old sluice gate screeches open, loosing a deluge of fetid sewage. Down the corridors you hear the torrent of water accompanied by the screams of countless cultists. Rather than try to run, you accept your fate. It's clear there is no escape. You did what had to be done. As the muck rises rapidly to your ankles, then your knees, then your neck, you think of your friend and Dr. Armitage and the countless others you have likely drowned. You have sacrificed yourself, but then to stop the return of an ancient evil. You hope your sacrifice was not in vain. In your campaign log, record the investigators flooded the Brethren of Ash summoning ritual. Each investigator who did not resign is killed, and each investigator who did resign gets victory points. We do earn the collector award, which is nice because we've got that. We've done Brethren of Ash. Each surviving investigator suffers 3 mental trauma. For that, we're all dead. The investigators win the campaign, but it's only a matter of time until the followers of Alikos rise again. Oh, what a fitting end. What a fitting end to the campaign. We killed ourselves for the greater good. Wow, that was interesting. That was good. I enjoyed that. About 2.5 hours. That's not too bad. What does this thing do? What would have happened? We'd have flipped Alikos. Yeah, we wouldn't have done it because the clues we needed to. Yeah, sorry, I just needed to check. I'm not gonna say too much for those that aren't playing the campaign full, but yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do it. We needed to get the 5 clues on her, so that was the right call. That makes me feel a bit better. Well, I enjoyed playing that campaign. I enjoyed it the first time round, but I just wasn't overly convinced by the decks that came with it. But I think we done all right in the end. Dexter was on guard duty, which he did. Took out the Herald of Flame when it came out. He killed the Servant of the Flame as well. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the campaign. I like the campaign, definitely. And I will come back and replay it as another legacy version sometime in the future. I've played it a couple of times now, quite close together. Probably give it a bit of a breather. But there is more Arkham Horror coming. I'm currently putting 2 decks together for a standalone scenario, which will be the next video after this. That's the plan anyway. Don't hold me to it if something else comes up. But I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough. Again, my final disclaimer. I'm sure there were mistakes, especially with the fire thing, but I checked it and that's what Google told me. And hopefully we played it okay. But that's it for me. That's it for the Brethren of Ash campaign legacy version. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-da for now.